Hello, hello, hello. We're once again here playing Rogue Trader. It went a little long yesterday, a little longer than anticipated. But we had a lot of fun and we managed to complete the prologue. We have now become the not the heir, but the actual Rogue Trader, following in the footsteps of Lady Theodora, whom was murdered in suspicious circumstances in her own office. Her arch militant, uh, just like there as well. And but yeah, we're stuck with the ship without a navigator. It's taken a lot of internal damage. We've lost we've lost a lot of crew members, which we need to replenish, and we're also been informed by our seneschal and that that there's a Lord Inquisitor at play on the wider sector, and one of his well, apparently his right hand man is somewhere in this region of space that we're in the system that we're currently in. We need to find them because we need to give them passage over to Footfall, which is the only dry dock in the near like this region of space. So we've made contact. We gained our first party members. That being Sister Argenta, battle sister of the of a battle sister order. I don't know which order. Um, like if I were to guess based solely on like the armor that she wears, which is um like black mainly in color, I would hazard a guess that it's the Order of the Ebon Chalice if it's one of the major ordos, but there are like numerous minor ordos of sisters as well, so could definitely be one of them. Um, and then we have uh Idira, um, less than fully sane, unsanctioned psyker, which is sanctioned psyker and unsanctioned psyker. Sanctioned psychers are people who got picked up by the imperial authorities, and they were deemed to be in control of their powers and sane enough to train formally in like mental techniques to make sure that they don't get overtaken by demons whenever they manifest their powers, as well as learning to hone their powers. Unsanctioned psychers, on the flip side, are naturals, shall we say? Uh, and and let's just say that they don't always turn out as well as Idira has, even though I've got a little bit of perhaps some doubt to how well Idira actually turned out. I think maybe we should turn the master volume a little bit down. Like that. And then last but not least, we have Abelard, who's our loyal seneschal and was the loyal seneschal of our predecessor. And he seems fairly straightforward as a person. He seems to really like adhering to protocol and formality when in most situations, even in deadly situations. And he is a strong fighting man, and that's about all we know of the. Like he hasn't really let slip his personality too much. I feel compared to our other two companions, one of which is a holy warrior nun, and the other one is as I said, less than sane individual. But so we come back after having finished the prologue, which also included a status report by like our remaining officers and like important crew, and in which case we're gonna take a look at our guests. So the quests, sorry. Um, So the first thing that we did, we completed the prologue by right of blood. We have now become the rogue trader, the Lord Captain of the powerful Von Valencius dynasty. Not that we can really exercise that yet, considering we have like we haven't really gotten into contact with um, any of the things that we are at least now nominally in control of. So we are in chapter one, and we have been given the task of it's a new quest called "Looking for Trouble," which is like we're looking to get out of trouble is the thing, but I guess we're also gonna have to go in trouble, like go into trouble to actually solve our predicaments. So we've been given three different sort of places that we can go in the sector uh, of space that we're in currently. Um, Sorry, not sector, the system is like we're like basic same as solar system is in real life, like that is system, and then sector is like an area of space, like depending on the whims of the administratum, like sectors could be really really large or really really but regardless. So we've been given three different sort of places that we should probably take a look at. We have Raikadi Philia, prison planetoid, which is my personal guess as to where an inquisitorial interrogator would probably be going to. From what we heard, I believe there is a riot currently going on in the prison planetoid. So reinforcing the guards there would probably be like what we would be doing if we go to Raikadi Philia. There is a Navis Nobilite station. That is the navigator sort of guild, I guess you could call them. Uh, which I mean, I don't really see what an inquisitorial interrogator of the Ordo Xenos would want to do in a Navis Nobilite station. I mean, obviously, Navis nobility are like they are highly influential. They're generally like wealthy as well. So like, if he's looking for like resources to like requisition, then I guess that would be a place. But like, I don't immediately see why an interrogator of the Order of Xenos would go to a Navis nobility station. But I think that's gonna be our first like where we're gonna go first, because getting like a navigator to a ship, even if we're not currently exactly capable of warp travel, but like getting like I feel that like getting ourselves back into warp capability if we really really need to, and we need a navigator for that. So like that is probably our priority number one. um there's also land on Ricad Minoris, which is, I believe, Ricad Minoris. Ricad being the like the name of the solar system or system that we're in. But Ricad Minoris is like the seat of government, like the main sort of planet, habitation planet, I think. And that is the planet. That is the planet. Like we're going to meet the planetary governor, who is not under our employ. He is in the employ of another rogue trader. There are two other rogue trader dynasties active in this region of space. So White Scale, I believe, were the ones who are in this region, or the lords of Rykad Manoris. But then we have unlocked a companion quest. The Battle Sister, during the briefing, did also mention, she was shepherding our unsanctioned psyker. The Battle Sister did have apparently a personal request to um, talk to us as well. She wasn't like she. It was just a request to have a little bit of a chat. We don't know what it's about. She didn't give any real indications, but we're definitely going to like follow that up on pretty much immediately. And as for errands, which is like weird that they're called errands considering like how important they really are. New blood. We need to restock our crew. Machine Spirit Keeper. We need to find like a higher ranking we need to find a higher ranking tech adept. So are a reinforcement from the Adeptus Mechanicus, because our previous one apparently died while in combat with the cultists, unfortunately. So we need to find a new engine seer prime. And then, as stated, the void ship needs a new navigator, um, which is the guide. We do only know one rumor at the moment, which is the Warden of the Expanse. So Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar, I think that's how you Xavier Calcazar, is a powerful and mysterious figure who plays a pivotal role in the fate of Corona's expanse. His power is so great that it extends even over rogue traders. I mean, yes, Inquisitors, and Lord Inquisitors even more so, are like one of the only people who can really um pull the shots for the rogue traders. Like obviously there are warrants of trade that give lesser sort of like there are warrants of trade that are more how would you call it, broad, and then more that have a more of a narrow scope, right? But regardless of how wide or narrow your scope is, the Inquisition can still call you to like pull you to heed. So we'd best make our peace with the fact that apparently the Lord Inquisitor has requested our services, and which is why we're searching for his right hand man, who's apparently somewhere around here. And um we'll be keeping in touch, I assume, at some point. We don't have any contracts that are available, but I assume that's going to be something that we can like uh calling them side quests would probably be wrong, kind of, but I imagine they're more like mercenary contracts of like these there are some aliens here who need to be eliminated, or like piracy abounds on the trade route. You need to find and disrupt this pirate, whatever, that sort of thing. Right. But with all that out of the way, I believe one of the things that we want to take a look at is the handwritten letter with a seal, because this is the thing that we found at the murder scene of our predecessor, Lady Theodoria, and this um info, handwritten letter with a seal. Theodora, a change in circumstances has demanded your immediate assistance in our mutual cause. Forthwith, upon receiving this letter and performing the necessary preparations of the crew, you are to depart for the Reichad system. One of my agents, interrogator Heinrichs von Calyx, who is the person that we're looking for, operates there at the present time. Upon your arrival in the system, you will, without delay, make contact with him and offer any assistance required of you, after which you will provide him passage to Bundus system aboard your ship. On footfall, the interrogator will remove himself from your presence to await further instructions. Anticipating any questions you may have, I will stress that the nature of the interrogator Van Calyx's activities on Rykad Minoris is of no concern to you. If required, Van Calyx himself will disclose the details of his mission. May the Emperor's light be with you, XC. This is the this is the letter that we found on the murder. So I had postulated the theory that like the letter that Theodora would have gotten was literally just like, you're too dangerous, you know too much, uh, you need to be eliminated, and that's why she got killed. But that was not the case. Nor is this nor was it like because she was holding like some kind of an artifact of a foul nature, at least according to Adira. Uh, so I was thinking that maybe it was something like the Inquisitor had requisitioned her to get said item, and then like then it still came down to, well, you well done, you requisitioned the item, but you know too much now, so you need to be eliminated. And that was the reason why she would be assassinated, because I am still convinced that Sister Argenta is the person who killed Theodora and her arch militant. Um, like I don't have a motive for her yet, but like one, she's a fervent believer. Uh, in the Emperor. So it could literally just be that she felt that like Theodora was tainted, like by whatever foul artifact she had on, like when she died, because we found shards of it right on the ground, right? So, but the one thing, like that's the thing that's kind of throwing me for a loop in that explanation is that Sisters of Battle, like the ecclesiarchy in general, are not the sort of people like if they kill like if like the like Argenta was like when we met her, she was giving us like appraising glances, right? Like looking for any sort of heresy or or taint or whatever you want to call it, right? And like that is really like as expected of her, really, in the sense that um like I would expect a fervent member of the ecclesiarchy to do exactly that when you find someone who is invested with as much authority and like power as we have been. But like that's the thing is that like if she did it out of fervent religious motive, right? Like she killed her because she thought it was tainted or like had lost her like way or whatever, she wouldn't be keeping quiet about it. Like she would say that I killed her because she was too far gone. She would like prove to be like uh she would be how would you call it? Just like unsuitable for her position because she was like lost into chaos or something like that, right? She wouldn't keep it hidden. That's the one flaw in my current theory of like Argenta is the assassin. Right. A thin, pale woman stands right. This is the Waxman's master Vigdis. Um Connect me to the vessel's main. Okay. Why do you look so strange? Um what are the Voxmaster's duties? I'm the ears and voice of the voice ship. I supervise several dozen officers, 3 times the number of support. Receives and good. We also include clear and optimal efficiency of the crew's Vox. Right. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? If you ever want to know what worries and concerns your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in local networks after their watches, and what their leaders are clamoring about over shortwave Vox threat, come and see me. It will satisfy your curiosity. Well, let's satisfy that curiosity right now. Forgive me, Lord Captain. I have no information that would be of interest to you. Fair enough. So we can do, I think, asking somebody why they look so strange seems a little impolite, so we'll pass on that for now. But we'll try to connect to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. Hey, we succeeded our fellowship test. Boxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain. Wonderful. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear a voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. Wonderful. That'll be all for now. I live to serve. Don't we all? The all. Right. First off, let's talk to Sister Argenta. She did want to talk to us, so let's see what she has. There's Master Helmut Ravor is there. These are just bridge officers. Bridge officers. No, nothing like that. So, let's talk to Argenta.
Rogue trader.
Sister Argenta looks tired. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's a little on edge. Trader? You said you have a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue trader.
Hear it then. Oh, okay, so it doesn't actually voice act this one. Fair enough. The accursed servants of chaos who assaulted the ship took the lives of your loyal crew members. And they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their posts until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in Von Valencia's territory, but in the world I am familiar with, the children of such brave souls could expect to receive some special consideration. Perhaps a rogue trader could meet with the orphan. What good would meeting? Make arrangements for a meeting worthy of a rogue trader. We'll address the orphans with a speech. I will meet with them. No formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valencia's dynasty. A consideration is the least that they deserve. Deliver this order on my behalf. The orphans are to be properly provided for. A personal meeting with a rogue trader. I would wish to fill these children's head with illusions that the world and its rulers care about them. I will have no. Yeah. We're especially in like I feel that like putting on imperious airs at this moment is not really the correct choice. Like the morale is on shaky ground as it is. Having like I'm newly minted rogue trader, literally like my first day in office, right? Like I'm not even accustomed to the ship. Like I was plucked from wherever I was and like brought here, right? So it like this is not. I feel like this is not the time to try to be like snooty. So I will meet with them. No formalities needed. These are the children of people who gave their lives for the Von Valencia's dynasty. My consideration is the least they deserve. I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart. All right. We'll see what those little whippersnappers have to offer. What do they? So we do have Abelard with us. Motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you as if you were a creature straight from our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Indefatigable of spirit, certainly, potentially not of body. Abelard glances at the gathered children. It is hardly the Schola Progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces her. Brave ones, the master of the ship has appeared before you, the one who guides it through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the rogue trader of House Von Valencius. Give them treats and escort them to their homes. I believe a minute of beholding their Lord Captain is a great enough honor for them. I, the rogue trader and Lord Captain of the ship, speak to you now. Your parents gave their lives for a just cause and brought honor to the Von Valencia's banners and those of the Imperium. I am proud of them. I believe that you will become their worthy heirs. Your Lord Captain greets you, brave ones. The girl who has remained close to Argenta smiles uncertainly. A skinny, pale lad tries to throw his shoulders back and stand at attention like a soldier. Only a few teenagers at the far end of the sullen, not particularly. One of the scowling visitors, with a thin scar across his face, tosses his head back and says bitterly, So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you, noble lot. You just give a speech? I didn't even give you a speech. Like, I literally, like, smiled at you and just told you, like, hello, brave one. Like, I've even complimented you. What sort of an... Kids. Argenta quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotion splashes in her dark eyes, like she wants to both calm him and scold him for his comportment leaves much to be desired. I hope that they will be molded into worthy servants of the host villain. This audience is over. Address the chaperone. Punish the troublemaker, put the rest back in their base. This audience is over. If you have things to say them without fear. I will listen. The boy smiles grimly. Doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back. It won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on the ship until we drop and die like our fathers. Worse. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through. They gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Now speak of their honorable fates with anger and disdain. When the heretics who killed your parent attacked the ship, I was there. I took command, I fought, I repelled the assault as quickly as I could. No war can be won without losses. You can only strive to do what is within your power. Right. So, again, we can just address the chaperones and have this audience be over. Strong have the power to decide the fates of others. The weak either obey or die. If you seek a different lot in life, boy, save your grumbling and look for an opportunity to rise above the rest. No, I understand why he would be angry and disdainful. Like, he literally lost his parents right now. So, when the heretics who killed your parents attacked the ship, I was there. I took command, I fought, and I repelled the assault as quickly as I could. You heard the rogue trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. Do they? It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly. He catches himself and gives awkward. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats, one Valencia's, emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears that the seneschal came prepared for any condition. Yeah, getting them some sweets, I guess, is really? Argenta rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Well, not exactly roaring applause from our crowd of youth, but hey, again, these are people who just lost their loved ones and friends. They should be given time to mourn. Like they'll grow in, like, under Argenta's guidance. I'm sure that will. I'm sure they'll grow up to be fine servants of the Imperium. Okay, and apparently that quest just instantly gets us a level. Jesus Christ, like, right, so we have made our way to the first level of Iconoclast. Okay. Second level. Okay, so I think it's, yeah. So if you get 15, you get the first level, and then 45. Okay, good to know. Right. Leveling again. Available characteristic, available common talent. What characteristics are we buffing? We don't get strength characteristic, which is like the one thing that we want, because we need 45 to be able to get heavy. To get heavy armor. So I think we could get either fellowship. We could get toughness. Weapon skill, ballistic skill. I don't think we need weapon skill. Do we need fellowship? Like, we're currently pretty decent on the fellowship. I think. Yeah, like we got Abelard at least initially for the tank, so I don't think we need to buff. Yeah, we'll just go with fellowship because we don't really have anybody who has a high fellowship for now, so we'll go with that. And then we have a common talent that we can choose from, and I think one of these common talents is going to be characteristic, and we're going to train strength because we want 45 as strength, so that we can get heavy armor proficiency fast as possible. Right, that was at least somewhat quick. Then we have our Sister of Battle. available characteristics. We're just gonna put it into ballistic skill, pretty sure. Um, could put it into agility, but she's already got 50 agility, so yeah, I think ballistic skill is the way to go. Rapid reload costs 2 AP less. First combat reload doesn't do it. All right. Deals damage to different soldier gains. Damage, camaraderie, predictable, fired up. Uh, First hit of each burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Skin. Not reduced dodge. Bolt weapon expert. I think I'm gonna not do the weapon experts for now because like uh don't really know. The Emperor protects. Willpower bonus chance. Yeah, her willpower isn't really high enough, I think. Um so I mean she hasn't really been taking that much damage, I guess, but like I guess she could be one of the characters who like go in fairly close, so better to die for the Emperor. Gives +10 bonus to all characteristic and +2 to resolve. Like seems alright. We haven't really come across too many grenades yet, but uh like Grenadier could be something for the future, I think. Let's do weapon proficiency. We haven't found any heavy weapons, so seems pointless. We could give more power weapon, no. Nimble. I mean, she's wearing medium armor, so nimble seems a little. She's not gonna go into melee, at least not. Alacrity. Each shot fired by the soldier grants them +1 agility until the end of their next turn. Little pointless maybe. Medium armor does not reduce dodge. Revel in slaughter can be used after 2 kills instead of 3. Revel in slaughter is like it's this one. Immediately removes the winded effect until the following soldier gains +10 ballistic skill. Ability becomes kill counter is not reset between. Um, I'll be honest. I think like Swift Slaughter seems alright. Like 3 can be. Yeah, we'll go with Swift Slaughter because like 3 can be pretty tough, but 2 can be something that she can even get off of like a burst, like a single burst. So I think that's what we're gonna go with her. We have Idira. Her available characteristics. Uh, we just buff her willpower. We just buff her willpower. Feel. We don't need ballistic skill on her. Each level of psi rating gives the psyker access to new tech. Also, it intensifies damaging. Like, do we not like level up her psychic rating instead? Am I missing something? Like, it gives me the archetype here, but it doesn't. We'll come back to Adira, I think. Adelard seems like pretty easy. Oh wait, hold on. Is not a level? Is what? Hold on. He has a level up, right? I'm not just imagining. It says 1 rank available. And then uh he's got combat master. I think ours hit while under the endure their damage deflection crowd kill. What's the thing that I'm thinking about? There it is. It will not die. It says that there's a rank available, and it doesn't allow me to choose this one. Maybe because I'm still here. That makes sense. All right. Right. Let's get some available characteristics. Do we just buff her willpower? I think we just buff her willpower because, like, uh, that's what we need, and we really, really, really don't want her falling for any sort of like demon stuff. So willpower helps that. I think we are. There was one thing that we were already looking a little bit. Psi rating 1. Level psi rating. Okay, so for us to up the psi rating, we need to be character level 10, 20, 30. Okay. Oh, let's see. Drive in peril. There was, what was it? Force reality? Was that it? No. Nope. Second sight. Nope. Stabilizing factor. Stabilizing or subtle manipulation. Damaging psychic well-being. Feel that he hasn't really been getting tagged in close combat too much. So subtle, like, I think stabilizing factor is what we're just keeping it nice and simple. With now we can actually choose stuff over here. Over here we wanted it will not die. Then for his characteristics, yeah, I think we just up the toughness. Make him as toughest. He is gonna be our main tank for now, so putting him up there. See. Right. That's the level upping done. What else do we have? We could talk to Outlard. We could talk to there's always men at arms. Wonder if they are gonna say anything. Lord Captain, Lord Captain. Okay, that gives Order Bridge Officer, Captain. Unrest on. Yeah, I assume these are just little clips. I wonder if there's like because like in for example in Mass Effect there are things that like you can overhear someone talking, right? And it could get you a quest. Let's talk to Abelard.
Lord Captain.
Surveys you briskly but meticulously as though he's inspecting you for shortcomings, and he offers courtesy. Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as the rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Outline the situation in the Coronis Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels.
That does not. Yep, sounds like the far reaches of the galaxy, at least when compared to where Terra is. Then
Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Alright. Who are the main players I need to be aware of in this map? I mean, the Lord Inquisitor is one. I assume the other two Rogue Trader dynasties are others.
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them.
What a like Caligos Winterscale is like. All right, yep. Seems like a reasonable name. And then you have Incendia. I wouldn't dare to guess what his or her primary personal characteristic might be.
If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall, and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces, and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse.
I mean, calling them heresies just straight out right seems a little harsh, Abelard, but alright, so organized crime for the Kazbala Commission, who deal with Winterscale. We have followers of Saint Drusus of the Ecclesiarchy, who are in Endia's things, and then we got as the third one the Explorators, Adeptus Mechanicus, our lovely tech folk. All right, Conrad, our previous master of whispers. What can you tell me about his betrayal? Do you think he'll do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
He winced as though from toothache, but simplified.
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. he is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to anticipate them, but I know that I'll be able to endure whatever blow he's got.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
I'd like to know more about my senator.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself. What were you before you became Theodorus?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, I used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium.
Yeah, makes sense.
I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcement to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the expanse.
Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
I accidentally clicked apparently on coercion, but I successfully coerced him. Apparently, he didn't have too many. He didn't have too many friends in the Imperial Navy Command. Do you have a family?
I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Abelard seems like overall a very reasonable man. Yeah, the way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her. No, I didn't get that impression. Like, admiration, absolutely. A willingness to support, absolutely. But love, I didn't see it. Thank you. And even if I did, I wouldn't press it at this point. We can always come back to it later. So, thank you. I have no more questions.
Of course.
I'm also gonna leave the "you may call me by my first name if you wish." I'm gonna leave that. Like, he seems to enjoy proper protocol and hierarchy, and as he said, he still thinks of himself as an officer. So, I must take my leave. Until next time, Seneschal.
Lord Captain.
So we've gotten that. We could go. There's like the master helmsman. So let's go talk to Rebel. Tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscle. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dough-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. Neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. Officer's face seems to be twisted in a grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain, Mr. Helmsman Rapper. Okay, so you're a Voidborn, are you not? That I am. Born into a Helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. I assume Chartist is like the... Studied the family trade until I was 15, and my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by Lowerhold scum. They spared the young ones. Of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me, so I escaped into their crawlways. I spent months picking them off, one after another. So, got me talking up a storm. Anyway, yes, I'm avoiding. Finish your story. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to, and then fled upwards to the middle decks. That's where the auger operators took me on. They have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter, and ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Danrock spotted me and lured me away. A cheeky blighter. Tell me about the Voidborn. Lord Captain, I mean no disrespect. You'd do better to find someone with a knack for conversation, like a Tollerman or new Boxman. I ain't the talking type. I just get the ship where she needs to go. Best let folks stick to what they do best. Fair enough? What can you tell me about the other officers? Good-for-nothing wasters, that's what they are. Each and every one. Take generous Danrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes would get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes so they can take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him, got caught by the Seneschal, ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. The Voxmaster, another Tollerman like the last one, Void dressed him, is no better. She cut off half the Vox channels the day she took up her post. Said the Vox systems were damaged and the Engineering had no contact with other modules. But how am I supposed to steer the ship? Collect the COG's reports with the power of my mind? First Officer Versarian, I can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I ever met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the same and throws his weight around. Me and him have had to have words a few times before he left me alone. Thank the Emperor, Lady Theodora trusted me more than the Seneschal when it came to helming a void ship. Then there's that woman. What's her name? Class? Lady Theodora brought her along wherever she went. Look what happened to her. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out it was that witch that delivered her to an early grave, just like countless souls before. I don't see why anyone would want that walking calamity on their ship, but some would disagree. They say she's friends with young Tollerman, you know? Or at least, he used to be. Exhaustive answer. Ain't got a better one, Lord Captain. I can respect the man who's open about his dislike of other people, and his reasons for doing so. If he's competent, I don't mind a little rough around the edge. Must take my leave. Lord Captain? Alright, well, Argenta's still here. Let's talk to her as well. Why not?
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy. With her dark eyes shining and slight blush to her cheeks, she is reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. Tell me about the Adeptus Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. We... I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
And that succinctly explains why she's here. She's looking for something. Order of Our Martyred Lady. That's like, I believe that's one of the the largest orders, or at least one of the most well-known ones. In the 40k tabletop game, well, when subclasses were still a thing, or it's not subclasses, subfactions were still a thing, Martyred Lady was on occasion seen, but it was the Bloody Rose, which was the most common across any battlefield. But regardless, they say the Adeptus Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is this true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
I mean, she didn't call them faultless. Are all sisters truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness. But do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. And thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her. For nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness. Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
Yeah. So yeah, Sisters Repentia, as she says, potentially, wear no armor, wear only an eviscerator, which is like a massive two-handed chainsaw sword. And yeah, they charge into the thick of the fighting. They kill as many enemies as they can, and they probably die in doing so. Not sure if, at least some orders also give them enhancing drugs, like there are combat drugs in use for the Imperium of Man, things that boost your strength, boost your aggression, boost your reflexes, that sort of thing. But what? There's also, I think, the Sisters of Battle have these things called living saints, who are literally uh, like sisters of battle who have been raised to sainthood through the God Emperor's powers, probably the God Emperor's powers, um, and like manifest things like angelic wings and literal ability to smite evil with like holy power and that sort of thing, right? And they like even when struck down, they rise again anew, like that sort of like that's what a living saint is. And apparently, if I remember correctly, a lot of the living saints were once members of the Sisters Repentia. Whether it was because they actually felt like one of the things is like one of the weirdest things that I think I remember reading somewhere was that like not all Sisters Repentia like go there because they have a shadow on the soul. Some of them go there because they um because they feel that like they need to just prove themselves. They need to prove their worth. They need to prove their faith, whether it's to themselves or to the emperor. And like the best way for a sister of battle to like, or the most direct way to do that is to eschew all armor, like take on the most dangerous task, and like where the faith is her only shield. You said you belong to the Calixian branch of your order. What brought you to the Coronis Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Pastor Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Followers of the cult of Saint Drusian, legendary hero of the Crusade, founded the place. I think I remember Saint Drusus. I don't remember much about her, but I remember, like, at least I remember the name, I think. Are there any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Coronis Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the Ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
I have no more questions about the Sisterhood.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
How did you end up on Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. But I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the pirate attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that
Yeah, I'm still very suspicious of her being the assassin of Theodora, but let's see what she has to say here.
I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, while her crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I'd barely recovered from my wounds when the pirates struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more. And it's bound to happen someday.
It's bound to happen, assuming we survive as long, yes? Mentioned making a mistake.
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We could go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valanci's protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
I mean, fairly reasonable from a religious fanatic, that one. What was it like traveling on Theodora's ship?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistic systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship.
Well, I mean, on the flip side, though, like having a wounded sister of battle in your medbay is not something that happens to most people, probably. So that could have been his type of entertainment, in a way.
But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the pirates. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
Good to leave on an optimistic note there. I don't have any more questions, thank you.
As you wish.
I mean, what is it that's keeping you in my retinue seems an odd question to ask, considering, like, we literally just got over. We'll hold on that thought. Like, it's not like she's had exactly any moments to just step out and leave, I guess. Yeah, let's not ask her why she looks so strange. Right, that's the Corona's Expanse map. Life Actorum Generous Danrock. A corpulent man in lavish clothes bows before you, not without difficulty. The servo skull whirs over his shoulders, while the fingers of his augmented hand drum against the papers he's holding, and regards you with attention, the lens of his magnifying. Greetings, your lordship. Generous Danrock. How did you come to serve the von Valancius dynasty? I come from Dargonus, your lordship. I have been a subject of your dynasty since birth, and I have always strived to be of use to the great rogue trader. Alas, it was not my fate to be the primary heir of my own family, due to my being 15th in line for the title, so I decided not to stand in the way of those behind me, in case they attempted to shorten the waiting list at my expense. Janice lets out an almost kindly chuckle. While my brothers and sisters schemed against one another, I studied the exact sciences and mastered bookkeeping, the greatest art of the Adeptus Administratum. I must admit that the accumulation of wealth, something one can control, is far more exciting than hunting, carousing, and the other traditional amusements. What was it like working with Theodora? Oh, now that's a tricky question, your lordship. Do you ask it of everyone, knowing they risk losing their head should they let slip a careless remark about your predecessor? I shall put it thus. Working with Lady Theodora was never boring and always profitable. Imperium has billions of subjects, but very few who do what they love and what they are best suited to. I would say Lady Theodora was one of the fortunate ones. She was a model rogue trader, and she surrounded herself with those who excelled at and loved the work. Hers was a rare talent indeed. I wish to know what you think of your fellow crew members. Keeping tabs on your subordinates. Wise move. Tell me who interests you. I'll endeavor to be as honest as possible. Um, I have a feeling that he isn't gonna be as honest as possible, but what do you have to say about Voxmaster Vigdis Oleman? Ah yes, Voidborn. No, in my family, we used to use such creatures as quarry whenever we went hunting. Mutants are the bane of humanity, an unseen tumor that threatens to end us all. I digress. In the brief time Tollerman has spent in post as Voxmaster, I have not noticed any significant flaws in her character, or anything that would make me question her professional quality. Needless to say, she is very diligent, as is any Voidborn seeking to earn their master's affection. I believe you can trust in her skills and loyalty. Tell me what you think of Seneschal Abelard Versarian. Lady Theodora managed to do what even the Imperial Navy could not. Teach Master Versarian to carry out orders that he fundamentally disagrees with. I do not know what methods she used, but the result is impressive. Having said that, there is something else you need to know, Lord Captain. The Seneschal is capable of being something far greater than a mere captain, conduit for your will. He possessed the cunning and experience to run the Protectorate passively whenever Lady Theodora was away. And that really is saying something. Keep an eye on that old officer, I say. Or, alternatively, turn him into a faithful ally. I'd like to hear your opinion of Conrad Voigtbeer, the former Master of Whisper. I hope I never see him set foot aboard this vessel again, not even as a servitor. Although, he would be able to do at least some good that way. Someone has to clean the latrines after all. His bloated face cursed them. He gave us all quite a fright on that ill-fated day, Lord Captain, and still, speak candidly, I never enjoyed Master Voigtbeer's company. I believed him to be a man who knew how to do his job. Regretfully, I was mistaken. It turned out Conrad lacked the most important quality for a Master of Whispers. Unwavering loyalty to the rogue trader. And his failing came to light in the most deplorable manner. We went off on that. I want to know more about the people who buy our plunder. Plunder. Of course, Lord Captain. Who interests you, exactly? We most often deal with the followers of St. Drusus, the Explorators, the Casbalica Mission, or Emperor forgive us, Fellowship of the Void. What do the followers of St. Drusus acquire from us? The Drusians still hope to bring the Coronis Expanse into the warm embrace of the faith, just as their flock hopes to receive the aid of the Drusian missionaries. Each crate of food, shipment of clothes, or box of medicine marked with your seal is a sign the rogue trader himself believes in the sect's future success. Reverend Hieronymus is the first among the Drusians, and is most often seen in football's grand atrium. A gloomy fellow, but some almost believe him to be a saint. Tell me more about the Explorators. Members of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet, which has been roaming the Coronis Expanse for a good while now. Omnissiah knows what they're hoping to find, but their acolytes regularly show up on inhabited worlds, seeking bits of sacred knowledge, tracking down mechanical relics, and sniffing out Xeno artifacts, if truth be told. Supposedly, they want to save the ignorant rabble from corruption. A tech priest named Opticon 2022 does business with us on the fleet's behalf. He can be found at the docks on football. I'm interested in the Casbalica mission. Masters of the cold trade, immoral criminals, and notorious crooks to the last man. The mission is but one branch of this mafia gang that has taken root in the Calixis sector. region. So yeah, it's the next sector over, basically. You can do business with them as long as you take the necessary precautions. They're led by Vladimir Tokara, who recently appointed himself Liege of Football. Of course, he's a trusted ally of rogue trader Winterscale, but he will not refuse you, another of the Emperor's anointed. If you wish to talk to Vladimir, look for him in the Liege's palace on Football. What is this Fellowship of the Void? Janaris emits a laugh-like gurgle. A pompous name, is it not? In truth, they are a gang of pirates who are forever squabbling over loot and territory. However, some of their little flotillas need supplies, or can take awkward cargo off our hands without asking questions. Of course, there's always a risk that these scoundrels will change their mind and attempt to board us instead, but so far our macro cannons have managed to keep them in line. They say Risa Calvaria speaks on the Fellowship's behalf. The Adeptus Amasecus on Football is rumored to be her favorite. Why are we giving our spoils to these people in the first place? I'm going to assume the answer is because what are we going to do with these supplies, right? To profit from them, of course. Most of the things you will find during expeditions are complete junk to one such as yourself, but the less fortunate and affluent servants of the Emperor think them treasures, especially when they're bestowed by the great rogue trader himself. Drusian fanatics and pirate cutthroats, Hispalica dealers and explorators, none will refuse our help in these dark and trying times. There may come a time when we shall be the ones requiring aid, and it would be beneficial to have allies willing to provide it. I suggest we change the subject. Right. I wish to bolster my retinue with skilled fighters. Rest assured, there are people of the most outstanding talent among the thousands of your crew. I will contact the overseers and... Right, so this is very similar to like in the Pathfinder games. You could create custom characters, like hirelings, mercenaries, whatever you want to call them. Like just create a character and that don't have like that aren't like story characters. Make sense? I will accept that. And then the last, my retinue and I are in need of training. I will show you our sparring chambers at once. Okay, so the sparring chambers, you need some kind of... Right, so you can respec... Oh, it's a profit factor. That's okay, cool. Good to know. All right, that's everything we've got from him. Right, vessel stands ready. Well, as ready as it can be, considering the servitor over there. Anyone else of interest on the bridge? Servitor. I wonder where Adira is. This is... Okay, I can't actually use that. Cool. So pretty much like we have two choices here. We can go to the Lord Captain's quarters, or we can take a look at the Coronis Expanse. That's what we're going to do. Idritlas is a sacred diviner in the service of rogue trader von Valancius, daughter of a distant world and a product of a doctrine alien to the Imperium. She perceives the curse of sorcery as a gift she deserved. Events of Warhammer Rogue Trader take place in a vast region of space known as the Coronis Expanse. This sector is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You will find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to new uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the Expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Each star system contains objects you can interact with. Such objects are marked as points of interest. Move your ship to the point of interest, then click left mouse button on it to... Right. Okay, so this is Ricardiphilia. How is that? Okay, so we haven't explored that. We haven't explored that. Okay, so that is that is the Navis Nobilite station. Our ship is over there. An unidentified void ship. And Rykad. Wait, okay, so this is Rykad Majoris, which is just right. We got a bunch of quests over there. That's the navigator. That's the. We haven't looked at Rykad Majoris, so we don't have anything there. But there's an unidentified void ship. I wonder if we like. I'm really curious about that unidentified void ship. I wonder if that's gonna stay there if we go to like Uruk 5. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have like this over it. Game has been saved. I really hope that this thing doesn't like it even pings it on a map that like there's an unidentified void ship there. But what happens? Okay, so it doesn't look like it's moving. Lord Captain, reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilite continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Uruk 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. Demands are clear. We're told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilita House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our walkthroughs. Order the auger crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. Remain silent for a while, but then you hear static and Victus. The officers from the auger crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. Signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains, why are the esteemed navigator's heralds ignoring us? Yeah, something shady is going. We're not going to negotiate personally. No. We're not going to also indulge in petty anger here. Um Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigator's blind. Dock safely, and may God Emperor light your path. All right, we're going in hot. Right. Um, Rogue Trader. No, it's not. The augur erase of. Yep. So that is for now, at least, her personal quest is done. Right. Okay, so you go with a party like yourself plus 5 is what I get from it. But all right, we're going in because like if there could be other heretical machinations at work here, and we can't allow our one navigator to slip through our fingers because we didn't act decisively. Yeah, and entire compartments have been shut off and repressurized.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Okay. Can we save them? Probably not. Yep. That is a no on that account. Right. So there's civil war ongoing. Tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face. Not just his own blood. Two jet black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid. Middle of it. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Answer in High Gothic. I am rogue trader Alessus von Valentius. I am no enemy of the Navis Nobilite. This system has been under the protection of the Winterscale dynasty for many years. Admittedly, I did not expect to meet another rogue trader in my lifetime. And since fate has brought such an important person into my abode, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felek Christoph August, keeper of the station. Though you did not come to offer support to the traitors, this is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Uruk 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. Pains me to say you're not on the guest list. What is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal, the most banal thing in the life of the nobility. I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Uruk 5, and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generator, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of the mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. All silent for a few moments and furiously spams the end of his packet. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. Something's not right here. Something is not right. Like, I think he's the one who's rebelling. I think he's the actual traitor. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Takes his hand away from his ribcage and dirties his blood and winces in pain. Yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. You may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the Mistress' chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator's machine spirit. I have one pot, and the other was lost during the mutiny. Even this relic will be of no use on the elevator mechanism. How should I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the Mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. Most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. Trickery ceaselessly on the rise of appeasement so that the machine spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. So how am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in a guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence. The sacred mechanism will do the rest. So simple. Why don't you do it yourself? Never said the feat would be easy to accomplish. The path to the laboratory and the guard room is blocked by the very same madmen who took over the station. They will not negotiate and are not afraid of displeasing the Navis Nobilite or incurring the Emperor's wrath. They bow only to brute strength, something which I currently happen to lack. Why should I help you? I came to the station for a reason. Also, Arcelio will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. But if you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find satisfying, be it riches, influence, all the powers of our navigators. Makes sense. So, what have you decided? Descendant of Valencia. I still have questions concerning the situation on the station. Our idle chatter will not save Lady Cassia, but if you need to be sure of something before you can help, so be it. My men have reported that the station is in a deplorable state. Irritably brushes away a strand of bloodied hair. Trust me, I should know. Everything happened too quickly. There were dozens of reports of accidents, victims, and failing systems. The only precious thing aboard the station is Lady Cassia's life. Everything else is futile and can be easily replenished. Tell me about your mistress. Regretfully, I'm not allowed to discuss my mistress, whether with her retinue or outsiders. She will tell you about herself personally if she feels like it. This, assuming she survives. I'm begging you not to waste any more of our precious time, for it is running out. What makes you think your mistress is still alive? A spark of concern flickers in the blackness. You may not believe me, but Lady Cassia is capable of incredible things. Not even the traitor Theobald can easily harness her power. Why did you not respond to the messages from Rykad Minoris? I have already said Uruk 5 is sacrificed. It is the holy domain of the Navis Nobility, and it is forbidden for commoners. Oh. We had hoped to solve the crisis on our own, but when the situation spiraled out of control, we could not establish contact because the traitors had disabled our equipment. Enough questions. Foes of your houses upset the balance of power in this part of the galaxy. I will help you, if not for the sake of profit, but for the good of the Imperium. It will be an honor to save the Lady Navigator from her woe. Rogue Trader's aid will cost House Arcelio. You should rejoice, for your mistress will live. I will rescue your mistress, but in return I require that House Arcelio sign a contract with my protector. It will be an honor to save the Lady Navigator from her woe. You should hurry then. We will stay here to hold the line and lick our wounds. Good luck, Rogue Trader, and may the Emperor's light be with you. Phylactery of Blood. I assume that the Phylactery of Blood is... Yeah, Cassius. Here's metal. Or it's something that... Anything of interest here? This.
Oh, come on.
80% chance, and we still managed to somehow fail. Yeah, I have a feeling that Belek is multi-key, bunch of cargoes. I have a feeling that yeah, Belek is the one doing the mutineering rather than the other way around.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Right, your color. Who are you?
Experience. Nothing matters more.
Get past that, block it. Oh, there's a guard over there. Wish we could talk to these guys, but
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
At the ready, conspirators are trying to break through the guard. I didn't pause. Pause. By accident. There's a trap up ahead. Order your character to disable it. If a character enters the trapped area or fails to test to disarm it, the trap will trigger, dealing damage to the character. Sometimes you will see a trap marked with a red area and a line. The line leads to the trap. Hover your cursor over the mechanism. Have your entire right, so there's a trap. Don't see what it's talking about. Right. Spark.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Most of these unfortunate souls are what? Linesman. Why?
Keep your wits about you.
Over there!
Okay. Are we... Can we talk about this?
Beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
Stand your ground!
Can we not talk about this? Was there no chance to talk about this? I don't think there's a... use non-lethal damage offer. Oh boy. Okay. Guard, vendor, butler, guard medic. Wonder, did I literally just wander past this? Like maybe there could have been a way to talk to these. I don't. Right. Don't have a lot of ranged firepower other than the sister. Hero needs to get close to be able to. Not a large. Your archer.
I'll see to it personally.
Adira gets not like the fact I can't like move from cover to cover. That is just open ground. They definitely have the ranges. Right.
On it.
Oh, he just literally he just literally killed his own dude. And
Mere pain won't stop me.
what just happened? So use scrappy auto pistol burst. Fired 4 shots, 2 hits, 2 misses. Cover instead of me. It's the guard. It's cover instead of guard. Okay, so yeah, he just literally bumped his dude and then got a couple like lancing hits. 4 shots, 1 hit, 4 energy. Okay.
On it.
We're putting 4 warning. We're putting 4 warning. What's the range on this?
Anything else?
No. Take care of them. There. Who's in charge?
At your beck and call.
Huh? Can't think. Try to hit that. Alright. You're not much of a marksman.
Why did I not foresee this?
Ooh, with fair chunk of damage there. Okay, Argenta.
I'll do it. Rejoice in battle.
There.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Not.
Doubt is for the weak.
Alright. Ooh, Adira is taking a lot of damage there.
Who if not me?
No. Yes. Adelard. No. Okay. heals. Defender.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Two there.
Cover me.
This is the time.
It will be done.
Brace for impact.
A tactically sound approach.
There. Make that charge. Sure. Pistol shot at him, or a pistol.
At your beck and call.
Alright.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Wow. Well done, guard defender.
Just a minor setback.
Alright, Adelard is tanking it. Yep, Adelard is just tanking. Which is kind of what I pay him to do. There, Argenta. How's your shots? 44%. Go for the 40.
I'll do it.
Fine. Fine.
I'll see to it personally.
And it.
It's as good as done.
As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Alright then. That was Jesus. Decapitated the man with one shot. Alright, well done. On Argenta, 18%, not one. We'll
On
take
it.
Take the 80. Oh. Right.
I know what is to come. Was it you?
No.
Anything else?
Hopefully we can get to him.
High momentum.
We got this bastard there. And we have the. I think we're just gonna go there.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. It will be done. At your beck and call.
Alright, that's the last of him. Immediately restores all Yep, I think we're gonna go
Forth on Valencia.
We're gonna go for that. Back into
My
cover.
place is at the fore. It will be done.
Good effort. Let's get cover.
I'll do it.
50% chance.
Eradicated.
There we go. Alright. How's that? 3. Again, this is gonna be really
Rise to the top or get
unfortunate
left in the dust.
if it turns out that one. Yeah, these are actually the good. Needed flesh. This Ripper auto pistol. Rate of fire 8 shots. Okay, but 3 to 5 damage. Only. Recoil of 15, range of 5, maximum. Maybe give that to Adelard. Let's see.
I always have a backup plan.
This. Great. Good stuff. Oh. Keep them out. But like, yeah, I feel already terrible that like these are probably guards who are just like actually doing their duty. Medium, right? Armor 20%, dodge penalty a little bit. They have a las gun, crappy auto pistol, cargo. Those good. I think. This, we have 28% armor and 60%. Take the black chest plate. 33, but our dodge chance drops to 45. Armored body glove is probably 5% armor. Huh. Got body glove on her. How does this compare to? Okay, so the black chest plate is worse than the mesh chest plate. We'll give the Ripper auto at a large. Because like he's gonna be in close quarters. He's not much of a marksman, so getting more shots. Probably. Last gun gets to be our secondary. We'll keep this around. Cargo. Guard Medicaid. We'll take this thing.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
I really hope, by the way, that there wasn't a way of like, oh, if you had just like come over, you could have talked to them. It kept a conversation between security officers. Tremendous honor. Yes, but this promotion will transfer the entire squad to the child's personal. By the God Emperor. While you're a strapping lad, you will probably make it for a cycle or 3. It has worn down better men than me. What even is the point if your brains turn mush? It may rip out my eyes like Amos did. Best I'll just go bonkers. Oh? What happened to that one? Threw himself out of a depressurized chamber because the voices told him to. Calm down. Keeper Felix said the squad will not have to serve the child for long. Give us a little leeway. That fish. Be quiet. Okay.
Let us not dawdle.
Belloc is definitely. Library full of treatises by the most magicians and Kenneth. Yeah, Belloc is definitely. Okay, so that was the trap, I guess. City Navigator step. Right. I'm gonna assume that the child is
I always keep my
Lady
options open.
Lady Cassio. Oh. Yeah, I have a feeling that we have just. I really wish.
Keep your
I
wits
at
about
least
you.
wish that there isn't like. Oh, you could have talked to them. Pontius Cypherus Gelasius on the training of worthy servants at the court of the Navis Nobilite. A good majordomo attempts to nurture only the finest of flowers in the garden that is their master's life. Therefore, new seeds for the garden must be weeded out with the utmost care. The garden may yield fruit. Lessons below will help you separate the precious seeds from the wild thorns. Cultivate the perfect garden for any lady. And 1. A faithful servant always makes sure their mistress's rooms and garments are clean. A faithful servant will never offer their mistress the same dress presented earlier in the cycle. A faithful servant offers their mistress a glass of fresh water upon waking. A faithful servant tastes each dish and every drink before serving. But yeah, we will have, I guess. Maybe.
I always have a backup plan.
Or what a data crypt. Oh, there's even more to it. Faithful servant will have mastered the art of styling their mistress's hair. The total time that 5 servants can spend on arranging their mistress's coiffure should not exceed 3 revolutions of the chronometer. Hours. A faithful servant lives for their mistress and gladly gives their lives for her as well. Okay, those are some pretty good rules for us. Oh, well, you know what I mean. He almost busted our heads because someone forgot to check the catering unit. Haven't let in a single outsider in over 10 years, but Keeper Theobald keeps finding things to fret over. Imagine the shrieking if he finds out Keeper Felek didn't make us inspect the hangar after Lord Winter. Groan for a bit. I tried to steer clear of the squabbles among the highborn. Some of Keeper Felek's orders make little sense, like the last time he commanded that we cut off communication with Reka and Mariners for a while. Why would he do that? Looks like he grew tired of the Winter Scale Scion's visits. Always a pleasure to aid Keeper Felek. That's right. The Highborn have grown tired of each other. Let them deal with it. Data flesh sample. Oh. Let's see what this lore Imperium.
I won't let it define me.
That's failed. Really? Come on, game. First I fail what was it? First I fail I fail an 80%er on the corpses, and now I fail a 90%er on I mean,
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
right. So we got 2 options here. We've got either this door over here. There weren't any doors over here because that looks out into. So there's either that or there's the door over here. It seems to me that they were protecting that door rather than this door, which is a little suspect because this looks to be the main door. The door is secured by sophisticated mechanical. Must be a way. Okay. We have 2 doors. Only one of them is an actual option. All right. That's why they were protecting this door.
This is intriguing.
Oh boy. Yeah, we do not want to. Right.
I better myself through my service.
Fair enough. This navigator flesh. Okay.
The crew continues to mourn Lady Theodora. I fear it may affect the performance of their duties in service of the Lord Captain.
In his service, will they find strength and fortitude? Only thus will they turn their hearts away from the frailties that lead to heresies.
Okay. Bunch of valuable cargo.
Is there money to be made?
Clear this out.
A soldier would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Jesus. All right, 70%.
Failure is just a temporary setback.
Oh, for the love of God, really?
An expected result.
Attackers -10 to any. What did we find? Noble Silk Glove. Bird gains +5 bonus to persuasion. Alright. Definitely. Those definitely go here. We'll keep those. I don't think there's anyone else who's really good at. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is a big hit. Get fatigue. Ugh. I have. Why did no stone unturned? I have not got. I have definitely not visited all of the systems in Coronis. That is something that I have not yet done, game. So.
This could be an opportunity.
The Emperor favors me today.
Let us not dawdle.
Spare me your wailing, witch. Every voice that sounds in your mind is a whisper of the archenemy.
Killed again. I'm curious. Curious if this actually has like a.
Just as I planned.
Okay. I was thinking that like maybe it has like a certain seed that it always follows. So every like X rolls, oh like that roll always fails and that roll. Is there a way to get rid of fatigue? Effect will be removed at the end of combat. You know, void shifter.
I always keep my options open.
There's 2 doors. This one opens by itself. That one requires. Okay. Also requires some tech use. Well,
That's how it's done.
Hey.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh. Okay.
Duty prevails.
need to fight more guards, huh? Are you alright? We can't hear anything. Oh, no. Friendly. Okay. There's madness going around. You're all traitors, all of you. They told me they was. Hey, where are you?
Rise to the top.
A little
left
like I apparently shot him through the wall there. So impressive marksmanship on my. Cargo. Just got affected by madness, like. Huh. Another data. Oh, this one is data crypt H41. We have a 40 and then.
Is there money to be made?
A bunch of doors. This. Research note of Navis Laboratorium Custodian Fortuna Orcelio. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growth so we could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis Nobilite. Just as we thought, navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp. God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. I must ready the organ extraction. Adamantine dust and black water. This was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. God Emperor be praised, I am lucky to still have my head on my shoulders after this reckless experiment. Nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even the macerator can handle its temper, so we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All of the data related to the experiment were reported to Datacrypt K040. I will get back to them later once I'm done with experiment H41OK. I have mentioned that chunks of the meteorite found by Keeper Felix subjects is completely useless. Have I mentioned? Although its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child. Yes, I think. So there's some experimentation going on.
Keep your wits about you.
Never a good choice. Okay. That's the cogitator spirit that we need to awaken. Okay.
I always keep my options open.
Here. Servants. Crumpled sheet of paper with a drawing of a tall woman and a dark-eyed fresh. Like Uwe just gave that to us. Okay. This. For some reason the arch enemy is twisted influence. Okay, so Taint of Chaos, medical experiment.
I'll learn from this mistake. Success is the only outcome I accept. Rise to the top. or get left in the dust.
Lock.
I always get the job done.
You just failed to unlock the door that we entered in. Maybe be a little less cocky there, I think. What's this? Carapace chestplate. Oh, it's light armor. What's this? Long glass. This is a sniper. Oh, we're up. Or right. So, we're putting the Carapace chestplate on ourselves. It just increases our armor. It also looks cooler, I think. Yeah. It somewhat cramps our style, but fine. Then we have the long glass. I think I'd rather not have the long glass on us. Ikira, maybe? Do the long glass. Just so that she has an actual ranged weapon that isn't just a pistol, I think. This was a very, definitely the key probably repaid itself there, like, way over. Let's go over here. Awaken the cogitators. Screen is covered in cracks and stained with dried blood. The buttons, switches, levers were ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism. Still refused. Awaken the cogitator. Turn a few of the remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked windscreen of the sacred engine flickers. The cogitators inside increase and groans and the lumens oscillate. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the cogitators. Examine the log. Archive data stored on Cogitator's local data crypt is partially corrupted, but you still manage to access residual logs. Data repository sanctified by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Data crypt is essentially like the hard drive. View Vox reports 12H890. Vox recording hisses for some time before you throw. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower levels. Chamber A to D are unpowered. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Requesting back. Officer's speech is interrupted by shouting and the recording. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winterscale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. A rescue team is not coming. We are on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anyone. If you're in doubt, shoot to kill. That's gonna be really helpful in a situation like this. Examine the recent entries of the incident. Report X880. Originator classified. Date classified. Servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. Order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. Report X88886. Classified. Negotiations with the Winterscales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's power. Okay. Report X891. Classified data expunge. Okay. Examine the station's docking log. The log is almost completely corrupted, but you managed to recover the latest entry. Identity confirmed. Regent Aronto Orselio. Date of visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Date of departure classified. So Aronto Orselio. Not someone we've heard mentioned or met yet. Examine the security and life support logs. Yellow lights above the control panel flicker to life and singular repeating message streams down the windscreen. Warning. Damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning. Living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning. Unable to access the station's docking system. Warning. Energy regulation system. Unknown error. Station will transfer over the emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Warning. Turn to the list. Step away from the cogitator. Step away for now. Put on correct gloves. Awaken the cogitator. Examine the logs. View the encrypted data. Something buzzes in the cogitator's metallic. Several red lumens. Required access level. Security captain or above. Current access level is senior security officer. Break through the machine guardian's defense. Easily bypass the restrictions imposed on the secret machine. Cogitator's overloaded processors were unhappy. Most of the encrypted data has been wiped. You find traces of the purge protocol. Recovery is impossible, but a list of most recent commands having been embedded in the machine now flits across it in a single creeping line. Child, delete, picked, flow, disable, access code, annual station controls, delete, activate shuttle, self-destruct, purge command log. Turn to available. Request data on the station's navigators. After a peace prompt, data appears on the windscreen. Bellic Orselio, location, main hall, status, alive. Theobald Orselio, location, upper changer, status, alive. Calamira Orselio, location, upper changer, status, deceased. Alexius Orselio, location, lower level, status, deceased. Rasmus Esteban Orselio, location, unknown, status, deceased. How do you know it? I mean, I guess life signs have, they probably have. Life signs have. No mention of the regent, nor the new lady, I guess. Oh, there we are. Child, the location, upper changers, biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temperature, stress level exceeds the permissible limit. Status, unknown, error, attention, calming procedures advised, attention, upper changer is inaccessible, error, the control rod is not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact the station keeper or the Navis laboratory custodian. Right. Let's try call Ruckhead Minoris Repel. System cannot carry out your command despite the eager compliance of the machines. One thing is certain, the problem does not lie in the cogitator's mechanism. Switch to the main chamber. Main elevator controls. Activate the elevator. Right. So, secrets of the Navis Nobilite. Right. So we have activated the elevator. Now we need to get to the port. I think we also need to. I was thinking that to not open all doors on the level, but I think we need to do this. Cogitator windscreen goes dark as if it had fled their mechanical casket, but your assumption is incorrect. It fills with static just a few moments later. You can barely make out an inscription on which the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Warning. Data corrupted. Processing. Error. A lot of binary is required. Jesus. It's not that. Not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not. Wait, none of these options is correct. System rebels and keeps resetting your commands. According to the data compartment we were trying to open is depressurized. Hey, it opened. Can we cogitate? It takes a few moments to gather data from the station active systems. Protocol has been executed. Passage has been opened. Wonderful. Uh, do I not? Can I not like just step away at this stage? Oh, okay. Cool. Step away from the cogitate. Right. Open the door. What just happened? Oh. Okay. Right. Depressurization. That's what just happened. Wonder if we can quickly.
I always have a backup plan.
This caustic stench of regions here broken land. Somebody wanted to destroy? Destroy the lab mines. Wait, get a
Failure is just a temporary setback.
someone disrupted this experiment in the most brutal fashion possible to determine. Ayo, okay. Another experiment. Biogel, black water. Quite simple. Go.
Keep your wits about you.
On the flip side, I want to know. But on the flip side, I don't want to know what kind of medical experiment.
I always keep my options open.
Lady Cassian. I'm not trying. Laboratory Journal H4045LS. Experimental section. Child's influence on the psycho-emotional state of various representatives of the Imperium. Access level or Serlio T prime. Experiment H45451. Lobor, male. The subject exhibits signs of acute stress. The majority perished of blood loss within a day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretions. They died of blood loss and the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connective tissue of its internal environment. Oh, individuals with the greatest resistance to Sacred Child's resonance died several chronoturns later. Extensive wounds in the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestine. Subject's final shouts exhibited concerns over abominable tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their experiment H45452, subgroup low-born female. Test subjects died within an hour of entering the laboratory adjacent to the child's chambers. Most had their tongues bitten off or their jaws badly dislocated. Some test subjects lacked the physical strength to separate it from the rest of the skull. Also, death, severe head injuries caused by impacting the walls or the floor. So they were essentially driven to madness and just smash their heads against like a solid. Oh, okay. Um, Experiment H45453 subgroup: a paralyzed patient who lost the ability to speak due to the shock caused by a manufactorum accident. Male. Test subject noted a tingling sensation in deteriorated tissue. During Regent Aronto Orselio's visit to the child, the test subject smiled and started humming, most likely trying to carry some plebeian, then attempted to address the servant who brought him food. A lengthy conversation was prohibitive due to the servant's lack of tongue. Huh. Experiment H4545-4 subgroup. A defective offspring of Lord P. Orselio pronounced unfit for studying the high art of navigation owing to the mutation of tissue required for installation of the obligatory augmentations that merge one's consciousness with the vessel. Additionally, they display an overall feebleness of mind. Test subjects mirrored the child's actions for 3 days. On the fourth day, the child became upset after hearing the news about the untimely demise of Amos Cantarelli, an officer of her personal guard. As a result, one of the test subjects peeled away several layers of tissue from her face and died from the resulting massive heart attack. The last surviving test subject was executed for attempting to contact the child. That's research notes of Navis Laboratorium Custodian Fortunata Orselio Part 12. Okay, so this is previous to the first part. More and more servants are being influenced by the immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale dynasty. I strongly recommend finely grinding the regent to catalyze the reaction. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Trust me, you will not like having to tend to the burns for the next dozen turns in a row. This calls for something more basic. Oh, and one more thing. Tech priests blessed the data crypt H41OK for the calculated number of chronoturns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. Data crypt H40KO manufactured over the course of our research. I should remind the technomats to deliver the sacred mechanism to Magus Deoctius' capable hands. Does very much feel like that we are in over our heads.
Is there money to be made?
Fusion flask, catalyst. Data crypt. Right. So spoke for a madman who captured Lady Cassia as being held coverage. Will, but a malfunctioning elevator prevents anyone from restart the elevator. We need to restart the elevator still, considering that we loot. Okay, I did this. Hopefully nothing nothing too important. Yep. Warp Seer goggles. Grants bonus. Okay, yep. We take those. That was pretty nice. No, not this one. Goes to our resident warp person.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Right. Do we need the control rod still? I thought we activated the elevator. I think we still
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
need the Right. Anyway.
I always have a backup plan.
We need to go and talk to him, I guess. Tissue flask. Right. So we have a flesh sample. Could put mutated flesh sample. Actually, really, we need navigator, catalyst flask, unidentified acid, no, biogel, no, black water, uh, biogel, region flask. Have a Okay. So we need to let's reread the R13. That's the one. Adamantine doesn't. This was the worst idea that could have gone in for Lockett is right. Nevertheless, we did make it. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to it. Having said that, not even Macerator can handle it. Probably introduce a more complex compound in all of the data related to. Once I'm done with it, I have mentioned by completely unusual. It's shining ground. It could be used. Right. So that part 12. Oh, and one more thing. The text replace the data crypt for the calculate data crypt malfunction over the course of our research. I should remind the technomass over this. Right. So it is the 401. Don't have a region flask. Thing that's they're not.
Let us not dawdle.
There are no other info.
I always keep my options open. What's a peculiar thing?
This. Not in there. Then. Well. Let's see. What did it say? Nepal graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growth so we can study the influence of bellies. Just as we thought, navigators positively got Emperor. Oh, let's flash another. Okay. Plus we did the adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Did that. I mentioned the chunk of meteorite went completely useless, although it's not felt yes. Was it here that the info is? Majority no, lowborn female, paralyzed mission lost. info. It has nothing. We've discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated erects more crystals, with finally grinding the region to catalyze. Not use acid on. Oh, and one more thing. Okay. This is regular flesh. They're now navigator. Not.
Is there money to be made?
This is. We can put a regent. This works with mutated flesh. This grants regular flesh. Like this grants regular flesh more. Um, I'm super concerned that I have missed something here, and I will just somehow have managed to like screw things up. Um, Pod. Get that. Aura. Help of navigator. I'm sure that we can probably come down here. You have nothing better to say? No. Really could have probably used your help here.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
We're gonna pass on doing any sort of experiment. Right. With that, we'll have to decide.
I won't let it define me.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
See? Not great. Looks a little better. His ankle hair is now neatly braided. His wounds are tightly bandaged. There's some healthy color under the scales. Dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod. Remember every second. Nope. There are 2 paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks so poor and flimsy. They fall at the slightest touch when hiding them. Okay. Tell me more. Paths. Cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. Decide what comes. Who is who? Who do you see? Whispers are giggling nastily. Not a little. Say that tearing off the mask is right. Felak is the traitor, and then like the other navigator who's up there is blind faith. Thank you. Everything is clear now. Alright, Felak. No. Without your sorcerer. We hand over the key. Like, we need to. You think they're worth the life of my mistress? Who is the child mentioned in the document that correspond on the station? You meddled with something that should have been left alone. Child is what the station servants call Lady Cassia. Commoners' dirty mouths must not sully her uttering. It is not beneficial to all servants. Some prove to be more useful than they were. Madmen I fought were convinced he were the traitors. Servants alone cannot be blamed for what happened on this. Most corpses I discovered either unarmed. You really think mere servants could plan a coup? Senior officers are just as guilty. Half of my guards butchered one another because they suspected treason. For the real culprit, who was staged by those closest to him. Throwing the shuttle, shutting off the power, disabling the security systems. Too many things required special access. Access available only to the keeper of the station. As I'm sure you're aware, there were two keepers. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Orselio, the demented old man obsessed with Lady Cassia power, and also the one who posed at her. I saw the security captain's report. Only the keepers have access to the station's system. Theobald stayed at his side the entire time and could not have initiated the self-destruct protocol. Which means he did it before the report was filed. Or maybe after. Or dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of his way to preserve what little there is still left? By the God Emperor, you will keep these slanderous accusations yourself. I listened to a recording of a private conversation between the station's officers. We're very lenient towards purposefully neglecting this. I was lenient, this is true. In the end, I paid a steep price for it. Look at the destruction around us. Surgeons have left almost nothing of it. Madmen I fought with. That's why they're insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dare to raise their hand against the scions of a noble bloodline? Here's the crossroads. Do we trust Belek or Celio? Can't save the game. Good to know for future. I am conflicted. I still think he is behind this coup. Still think he is behind this. If I say this, they turn hostile. I'll have to fight them. Well, I'm convinced that I'm right. Enough lies, Felix. I'm certain that you're the one behind this coup. I suppose it is time to remove my mask. Congratulations, you've got me. But did you really expect me to be sincere this entire time? Welcome you with open arms, an ally of Tisiphone and her monster. The accursed child who has tormented the navigators of House Orselio for years? Don't make me laugh. You arrived to help her completely destroy our house. I cannot let that happen. Belek, you're obviously quite mistaken. I came here to get myself a navigator, nothing more. Not? In that case, accept my sincere apology for the deception and my earlier bit. I had no intention of making an enemy of one Valencia's heir, nor of destroying the station that served as my home for many years. It left me no choice. I cannot even imagine what monster lurks at the opportunity. Evil, plague, a pestilence on our bloodline that seeks to destroy House Orselio from within. Theobald and his followers, mindless fanatics serving this evil. Lady Cassia is a scion of a merciless tyrant. Not her relation to Tisiphone that is terrifying. He's a monster whose powers drive servants insane in mere turns. Cursed child who can kill a navigator from the Orselio bloodline with just a look. I alone managed to get close enough to her over the years. She lowered her guard and trusted me. At long last, in my house. Must have been terrible to live under a monster's yoke for so many. This monster's death will convince you to finally leave this. Your cursed child agrees to become my navigator. I will gladly rid you of this burden. You do not understand. This. But correct. This may work. Certainly is possible. You're going to need this charm. Precious stone without a setting. Luminous surface. Hold to the touch. No matter how long you hold it in your hand. If you manage to press it against the monster's skin, whether by force or by guile, the baleful influence of her powers will lose. You will be able to take her and leave the station. Okay. So he was the traitor. He's cooping. He's making a coup.
Plan.
But not because of traitorous intentions.
I won't stand for it.
This is just something that. Right. Oh. Okay, this is as good a safe place as any again. I feel vindicated by having guessed correctly that he is the one who's rebelling here. And it does sound like to me that he wants to be rid of her. It doesn't mean that she needs to die. Go on. That's Lady Cassia. Pale figure with unnaturally long limbs stands with her arms raised, her hands deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from scarlet misted eyes. Her spiny gills slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, which nervously. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a jeweled ornament. Your eyes meet, a sense of overwhelming, soul-smothering power. As the otherworldly creature's gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror. Flashes of past and warped nightmares emerge from the shadows of your memory. Paralyzed. You gasp for air in terror, drowning under a crashing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn on your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in so much pain? Do these feelings even belong? Ira emits something between a moan and a groan-out. Ow, ow, ow! As if my own little pals weren't bad enough, now this one's barging into my head. Somebody, stop it! Perix, urgent that looks at all things, a strange mixture of anger and sadness, lowers his head like requires my overcome with depression. I know why I'm here, so I will stand strong against any illusion. Wound her, stop her sorcery, bring stone into contact by the end. I know why I'm here, so I will stand strong against any illusion. Direct all your attention inward, your heart, currently shackled by another suffering. Under the gaze of your burning inner eye, the despair and pain begin to dwindle. Darkness in your soul dissipates, the lump in your throat shrinks, and you discover that you are standing in front of a bizarre creature young woman whose tears seem to have dried along with your own. She wearily shakes her head and lets out a drawn-out sound similar to both a sob and the howl of a small wounded animal. What is happening? Is someone calling my name? Are all the betrayers dead already? And you? Who are you? You look like you'll do. Alessis von Valencia, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Unease settles over her features, not thoughtful. Pardon my manners, Alessis. I did not expect to make such a gracious acquaintance in such a time of great sorrow for us. What is this? I feel faint. Theobald Orselli. The heavy-set old man, who has been kneeling nearby, erupts into low sobs. His eyes, swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room as though the veil of ignorance has just been ripped away from him. The child! Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child, throne preserved! Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman. You! The old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet-black veins. Bulging, milky eyes bear a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. Thickly sweet scent assaults your nostrils as the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, but they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move will bring the wrath of House Orselio down upon your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the whispers shriek like crazy. Might just open that eye. Threatening the head of the dynasty is a grave offense. Esteem whoever. Present. I'm trying to determine what is happening on Urak 5. I'll grant that you do not look like pirates who come to coveting the riches of a wrecked station. Scoundrels, but who are you? Alessis von Valencia, rogue trader. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy? How interesting. Your kind always make an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful. So House Orselio now asks the service. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to answer. Think. Make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today. You decide. What is the curse that has taken hold of everyone in it? Curse? You do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. If the child wants blood, the world turns. The child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone. She is the heir of House Orselio. They call me dangerous with witchcraft. What service do you ask? Save the sacred child. Take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. A bluish rivulet trickles down the old man. Wipes the completed blood briskly. Slim strange burns covering his flesh under his clothing. The slightest movement must be causing unbearable pain. Save the child and deliver her safely to Regent Aronco, acting head of the House Orselio. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Yeah, I'm sure you do, but a lot of people have reservations about you as well, Adira, so keep that. Looks at Cassia, a painful furrow almost. Such a fragile thing, such a heavy burden. I want to know what happened between you and Belek. Belek. is my wayward student. He came to Uruk 5 as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me. He proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss, pervert the centuries-long traditions of our family. You can see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of the greatest of our novators, patriarch or matriarch. Right. Tisiphone or Celio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy, the renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the novators. So choose whose side you are on, the murderous traitor or the lawful scion of the noble house. You're talking as though you expect to die here. Zerbon shrugs indifferently. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Spelek inflicted on my flesh will never heal. I am dying. Trace the throne slowly enough to see that the child is taken care of. Need help? Medicate deck on my ship. No, I am the keeper of Uruk 5 and I will perish along with my station. On that note, I have other matters to attend to. Belek said that the child is a monster, a legacy of tyranny that must be wiped out. Do you believe him? After everything he has done to the station, Belek only wishes to dispose of the heir and take the reins in his bloodstained hands. Do not besmirch Lady Cassia's good name. The child is the holiest and most innocent creature on this entire station. That I can at least believe. How could you lose control of your station? Not thrust my errors in my face. I'm twice your age, twice as wise. Take my advice. Trust no one but yourself and the Emperor. Even those closest to you will betray you for gold, power, or a far-fetched idea or right. I believe I have made my decision. If that's so, please share your thoughts. Belek is a true monster. Let's do away with him together. The last thing I need is a monster on my ship. Cassius will remain here and you should serve as navigator. I should bring Cassia to Belek. Like, what are these options? I was like, why is there not an option that says, I told Belek that I can take Cassia? Because, like, this is clearly, like, if I say I should bring Cassia to Belek as I promised, which I didn't promise to bring Cassia to Belek, I promised that I would take Cassia with me as a navigator, right? Like, and this is just mindless violence here. This is not the correct, like, no, like, he's already dying. We're not, and, like, taking a navigator by force will just mean that he just, God damn it. This is the, like, this is going to end up with them going like, you're gonna give her over to that bastard and so you die. God damn it. God damn it. Belek is a true monster. Let's do away with him together. Uh. We're back. I don't like this. Discolored vision. Like this. Like this. Yeah, he admits to being like he admits to being like treasonous. Part of that. Well, no one appears to be living in the cage. Somebody still built it. Painting was rendered by several different hands. Rock, very strong. I don't. Well, I mean, this is kind of what 40K is supposed to be. I'll be honest, like making tough choices that like aren't great. Like you don't get great options. That's not what 40K is about. Curious Beast. No, like, but like, yeah, I think we're gonna side with Theobald and Cassia.
I always keep my options
Not because
open.
we think that like Theobald is entirely sane or that. All right, off to face them, I guess. This is gonna end up tragically, regardless.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
You dare cross the faithful!
Like, oh, where's that? Bella Corsilio get that? No. Six. How's RNA? Kira goes. Abelard. Battle.
death, we shall know them.
Okay, they just dropped Idira like immediately. Has suffered a certain number of injuries. These injuries are replaced with trauma. Make use of medkits. Of course. Make use of medkit in time to treat injuries to avoid character. Moving, throwing, or filter. Skip around.
I will do my duty.
And
Victory is imminent.
he dodged that one as well. Okay, that's not great. That's not great at all. Argenta. Pretty.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
I'll make it happen.
Actually, probably double art.
I'll see to it personally. Who, if not me?
As the Emperor commands, I act.
There we go.
I'll do it.
Let's cancel.
I don't need luck. I have strategy. I'll make it happen.
Death to the heretics!
Okay.
I see you gasping in crimson.
Me.
Come on, Abelard.
Target well.
Hey!
I will endure.
Okay, what just happened to God? Warp first. Let me move first until combat. All incoming warp damage. Fine. Ooh. Right. Right.
At your beck and call.
Hey, we got. He actually hit.
Indeed.
Put him down. Dodge. Damn it.
I will do my duty.
Good.
Doubt is for the weak.
Put him down.
Reduced to dust.
There we go. Big bad man. Oh, I probably.
Well struck.
Well struck.
It will be done.
There we go. Oof, can't see it. Rather big.
Not injured. I'm enraged.
Please don't hit your allies.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. As the Emperor commands, I act. Strike is a prayer.
Now, this is your burden, child. Survive. Return to the fold of your house as your destiny demands.
Theobald coughs up bluish blood. The armor plate on his chest is perforated, and if he places it, there's a tangle of metal and viscera where his abdomen ought to be. Navigator's pale eyes find Cassia. He quietly grasps.
No! Don't leave me alone in this violet-brown haze! Wake up! Your mistress is giving you an order! Do you hear me?
Navigator's body and bewildered. You're overwhelmed with it.
He was a fine seer of the war. He fought for his mistress until the end.
Yeah, no. Enough's enough. I've had my fill of waterworks, thank you.
I regret that we had to meet under such.
What need have I for your regrets? I just want things to go back to the way they were before. What are you going to do to me?
Lady Cassia, I, Alessis von Valentius, rogue trader of the Imperium of Man, offer you my protection and grant you shelter aboard my vessel. No. Lady Cassia, let us aid one another. Become my navigator, and I shall restore you to House Orselio at the earliest of.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Your Act 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
All who can be saved will be given succor on board my ship.
Accompanying a rogue trader on their travels is an honor for any navigator. Let us go. I can no longer bear the sight of the deathly pale shadows that drape the bodies of the fallen.
Alright. It's just loot Theobald Orselio? I don't think. Can, however, loot a bunch of the bodies. What do you have? Carapace chestplate. Or what do you have? A shotgun. Oh, never mind. They have black chestplates. I have a carapace. These are just going. Real question is this: the Toby pattern. Dodge reduction 30, rate of fire 4, rate of fire 4. No armor penetration. No armor penetration. More base damage. Otherwise, pretty much the same. I think we're gonna keep one of the shotguns and one of the last guns. Otherwise, they can go. Oh, that's the right. Bellic Orselio, what have you on? Armored body glove. Dead shot stub revolver. Rate of fire 2. Rate of fire 1. Range of 6 smack. This taking that. Staff of House Orselio. Castigating 5. Enemies targeted by navigator powers gain a -5 penalty to all their characteristics until the end of the navigator's next turn. This penalty stacks and is renewed every time the same enemy becomes the target of navigator skill power and plus action. Doom that Casio. Tactical goggles. Hit chance, critical hit chance. Absolutely. That's the recovery, I guess. Can apparently just be a ball. Thrice Pioneer's Bracers. Every time the wearer deals damage, target's weapon skill and ballistic skill by -5 for. Staff of Orselio Guardian. Allies targeted by navigator. Okay.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Which of them, if any? Nope. Cargo. Cool. That's all we have here.
Do you require an audience?
You have Casio, our navigator. Matic up. Archetypes. Officer archetype. What am I missing? Like I feel like I am missing the ability to go deeper into the psychic powers rather than just like going right. Characters, flowing ability. I feel like I am missing. Data deleted. Oh. Right. We'll figure that out as we are coming to the end of the session.
I will lead us to fortune.
Let us to the Void Ship Bridge. Leave location.
Let us not do.
Leave the location. Collect the remaining trophies. The rest of them are like from thing. I don't know. Do I have any use anymore? Do we? We could go and do something with it. Okay, we'll just leave location. But hooray! We have a navigator now, and not sure how well this is gonna pan out in the no. It might be easy choice for some, but I would say that for me, that's just pure heresy, and heretics need to be burned at the stake. uh, I am fully committed to either, at least for the first playthrough of this game. I am probably gonna go Iconoclast or Benevolentia, however you want to call it. But I do think that like I'm sure that there are gonna be like heretic choices that I will be really tempted to take, just because of like they're probably gonna be one of those things that's going to be like really powerful or useful, at least in the short term. But then they damn your soul most of the time, so like ups and downs. Right. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breaths come short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Victus is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you are ready for the ritual, please let me know. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Victus, then lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. Her lashes slightly. What did you wish to speak about? After a few seconds hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale, and then raises her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped. You acted honorably, did not exploit me in my wretched position. For that, I am immeasurably grateful. I'm also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uwe served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Immaterium and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. So she's describing feelings in colors, which is pretty interesting. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders, I'm ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Tell me more about what the ritual entails. I assume that the painting is part of the ritual. I doubt the uninitiated could understand the mysteries of navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. Cassia lifts a lock of hair from the back of her neck, revealing gilded implant cords. Mechanical or electronic cybernetic substitute for biological limbs. Yeah. After that, I use the House Orcelia ritual, which I'm loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts. And then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light, the guiding thread, so fine it can slip from one's grasp at any moment. Cassia unfurls her hand as though dropping something. But you have nothing to worry about. The navigators of House Orcelio never lose their course. Right, so the light of the Emperor that she's talking about is the Astronomicon, which is essentially like a psychic beacon or a lighthouse in the warp, powered by the Emperor soul, who has been entombed on the Golden Throne. And if it's ever snuffed out, that's probably the end for the Imperium of Man. Why do you refuse red paint? Cassia gestures towards the servant standing beside. Uwe will give of his blood before the ritual, as always. Okay. I'm a little, blood rituals. Should have probably expected it, or like from, things having to deal with the warp. Still makes me more than a little uncomfortable. I shall ensure that all the necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. Cassia nods, thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. You can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is open. Fair enough. Right. Oh, we have another. Who is that? Ah, that's Victus. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge. May the Emperor's light help us all. Seems a little ominous to call for help from the Emperor's light at this moment. Right. The Voxcaster in Sanctum Navis picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clicking of implants. Then the serene voice of Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uwe. The exalted ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, the faint whisper of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurrying away. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails. An umber shadow spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. Storm rising above foaming waters. Armadas drowning in fog. Path from one end to another cannot be. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother. Sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her? No. Of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened. The great ruler. Gone. Voxmaster recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The panel beneath her fingers emits sparks, and the Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and boasts guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Voxmaster see to it that you receive 5 lashes for this show. We will leave the Lady Navigator undisturbed. Huh? Servants of the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like... It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's right, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. You hear a heavy exhale, rustling fabric, metallic clicking. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its gold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Spare me a few moments of your time, please. There are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I want to report on the condition of the station, Uruk 5. Had you opted to begin your visit to the Rykard system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representatives of Navis Nobilite brought us precious time. We can either send our forces to disassemble the station and procure technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. I will not stoop to pillaging. Abandon the station while leaving. Gather any components that may be of use on the ship. Loot everything, from jewelry to the last manuscript. Like this? Why are we abandoned? Like if the station goes down, then like the jewelry is lost anyway. But this feels like this feels more piracy than it does anything. Like abandoning the station seems entirely pointless. Gather any components that may be of use on the ship. As you command, Lord Captain. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we're still looking for an engineer prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We're also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrich von Kalox, the right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for sure he was not on Uruk 5, so keep this in mind when making any further plans. Thank you, Victus. This will be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Right. So the unidentified void ship is still there, which is good to know. But I think this is where we're gonna save for today. Hope everybody had fun watching. We'll pick this up probably tomorrow and start exploring actual planets rather than space station. But as I always say, hope you had a good time. Hope to see you on the next one. And good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever happens to be the time of day for you. Have a good one.